Are you on tour at the moment, or are you just hanging close to Montreal?
We're never really settled.
No, I guess that's true.
Yeah, we're in between. We're leaving next week to, we start this Saturday in Ottawa, and so we're starting basically this Saturday, not even next week.
Now, this is the Canadian stage of the tour, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And you were just in Europe?
Yeah.
Just came back from a big festival season in Europe, yeah.
And how'd it go for you?
It was amazing, really, really fun.
Yeah, we got to some places we'd never been. We got to a festival in Romania, and it was really, really awesome. You go to a place with no expectations, and you end up blown away by the kindness and, just how much rock and roll is alive and kicking out there. It was really, really fun.
I like that you say rock and roll.
You're a true roots rock and roll band. It really takes us back to the 60s and 70s, like the Rolling Stones, which was just, there was something invigorating about the time.
I'm happy to hear you say that. That's really our...
I think that people kind of lost their way when they got, I guess when progressive rock came in and heavy metal and began to confuse rock and roll with something entirely different.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to define, but definitely what attracted us to rock and roll in the first place, I'm going to speak for me and Lee-la, is the freedom that it gives you. Back in the 60s, when you listen to stuff from the 60s and the early 70s, or even the mid, all the way up to the late 70s even, there's a certain freedom in the music. I mean, it's not just loud guitars and bashing drums. You listen to the Beatles or the Stones or Zeppelin, there's a lot of acoustic stuff in there, a lot of world music influences, and that's really what kind of attracted us to the genre.
And it's the same way with your arrangements.
The same could be said for your arrangements. I mean, Keith Richards would have a part, Ron Wood would have a part, and that filled out the ensemble.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that kind of stuff is really important for us. Also, the way that we record, we try to play together as much as possible. I mean, all our records, we've always kind of spent in the same room. We feel like that's the essence of the sound of the band.
And your work with Bob Rock must have made a difference too.
Totally. Oh, he's such an incredible man, first of all, incredible human, such a sweet and kind dude. And other than that, his expertise and his ear is unmatchable. It's really, really something out of this world. We're so lucky to have been able to work with him.
And what's Bob is really known for his heavy metal records and his 80s glam rock stuff that he did. But really, he does come from the same school exactly of the late 60s and the early 70s, and we bonded on that. That's the reason why we decided to make records together, because he gets it so much, and that's his true passion in music. It's that era, just like it is ours.
And it's also about when you're recording, you want the tracks to have weight to them, so that when they're played publicly or they played in a recording, you can feel them. You can feel the width and the size of the track. And he brings that to it. He's the best.
I mean, there's no two ways about it. Yeah, I think he's considered one of the best producers in the world of all time for a reason. It's not just because he got lucky. He's really great at what he does.
What is it he does in the studio that's different? Will he suggest new sounds, or would he say let's mic the guitar amp a different way or use different amplifiers?
He's very hands-on. I mean, when he's in the moment, he's in the moment, and he's kind of like he's a part of the band, and he wants to put himself in the shoes of the damn truth, or in this case, the guitar part. And he's full of ideas, and there's kind of like nothing that stands in his way. One thing that I remember, just as you asked the question, was we were looking for one particular tone in one particular song on our latest record, and he just we couldn't find it with the gear that we had in the studio. So he had one of the assistants just go out to Long and McQuaid and pick up a bunch of pedals, and they came back and we plugged everything in, and there it was. It's like he'll do anything to get that sound that he has in his head.
And Lee-la, for the vocal sound, what do you reference? I mean, you've got a history of great singers underlying your style of music.
Oh, totally. I mean, I find for me, it's all about the performance, and it's all about the moment and the essence of of the moment, of being able to really, really connect with the song and the sound and the music that we're creating together. And the fact that like we were recording at the warehouse, and we're sitting on a warehouse of the best microphones in the world. You know, and like on that first day, he brings up like 4 or 5 different mics for me to try, and you know, I sing into each one, and the speakers don't lie. You know, when you listen back, you can tell right away what is the tone and what is the what works the best for my voice. I think Bob knew even before I sang what it's gonna be, but he wanted us to listen back and to hear it and to really feel it for ourselves. And yeah, I mean, I'm really, really lucky. I got to sing in the actual mic that Frank Sinatra sang into. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
That would be the Shure SM53, and I think he switched to the SM58.
Yeah,
Really?
definitely. It was uncomparable. You know, I mean, I like the Bono mic, and there's a lot of like incredible mics out there that like really, really work, as long as like they need to sort of be dynamic and to work for my voice and to give me the right depth and the right feel. But I think at the end of the day, Bob is really trying to, you know, create the sound that we already create together. You know, the sound that we have when we're in the room together, when it's a good acoustic room, and that's it. Not to add anything more or take away anything. Like really just try to amplify what we already have, and I really appreciate that and the way he works.
And it's also about replicating what you've captured in the studio live on stage.
For sure. And like, don't forget, like for us, like on stage, it really is a moment, and it really is like we always say that you can never really replicate it, which is why we urge our fans to come to as many shows every tour, because every night's going to be a little different. We always leave room for improvisation in our songs, and I never know exactly, you know, where my voice is going to take me when the song begins and where it ends. It's always different. It'll crack a bit, it'll break a bit, it'll be all sorts of moments because of the intensity of the moment, and we love that. You know, it's like there's always these surprises that you can't expect.
So you come into the Redwood Theater on September 6th.
That's right.
And I think Maria met you or something through Andy Kim.
That's right. Yes. When we came through at the Andy Kim show last Christmas, it was awesome. That was a really, really great experience. We got to meet, and I got to sing with Lifeson, with Alex Lifeson. That was absolutely insane.
I think you're going to love the Redwood Theater because it's classic. Was an old vaudeville theater. And it's all stone. It's beautiful inside, and it's just a perfect place for a band like you.
That's really cool. You know. We look forward to it. We really do. We've heard great things.
The last thing here, you've got a heavy schedule of touring, and how do you keep from getting worn down?
I think it has to do with the people that you surround yourself with.
Uh-huh.
We're super lucky in our band that we all get along, and we're good friends, and we can rely on each other, because when you spend so much time on the road as we do, you know, everybody's going to have their days where they feel down or a little out of themselves or a little sick sometimes. And it's really important that you surround yourself with people who can lift you up when you're down, and the same for yourself, you know, that you are there for your bandmates and for the crew and for the road managers, you know, to be there when they need you to lift them up. And I think from all the bands that we've toured with, that's the kind of lesson that we've learned. For better or for worse, sometimes you see it that bands don't have it and how hard it is for them to tour. And when you see great bands that do have that, it always comes down to like that village, you know, aspect. And we try to keep that strong in our bands.
And it's also, now that you have the momentum, you have to stay with it. And you have to keep rolling and rolling ahead, because, you know, if you're going to get to the point where you see that the dollars and the fans all line up, and there's a big future there, and a solid future, and one that can sustain, everybody has to be on the same page.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, that's a great thing. And we are very lucky that all of us just want to do this. We've never wanted to do anything else. It's all we want to do. We love touring. We are touring animals. We really love the travel. We love the, even the hardships on the road. It's all fun and games for us. Like, it's really, really fun. And I say this often, there was never a plan B for us. This is it.